Man, you know I be checking my game, blocking my grip, talking shit, swallowing spit. Been doing this since I was ankle low to a centipede, toe about knee high to a flea eye. Hey JB, I'ma do this whole song with my pinky finger in the air, nigga.
Checking my game, clocking my grip, talking shit, swallowing spit, 'cause I'm cold.
New to Man Show with JB Frank, aka the Black CNN, baby.
Yeah.
What up, JB?
What's good, dude? What's good?
Too much, man. Checking my game, clocking my grip. Like you singing on the song, talking shit, swallowing spit. You
Cause
hear
we
me?
so cold, baby.
We so cold.
But it ain't cold out here, dude.
Oh man, it's feeling like springtime out here, JB.
For real.
Really feel like a little bit like summer.
It's been hot. It's been so hot that it'll mess around and start raining in the afternoon.
Yeah.
It's been crazy, man.
It's year weather.
Oh man, raining topics this week too. Dude. It's just been crazy stuff going on.
Every day it's been something I'm like, oh, that's gotta go on the show. Oh, that's gotta go on the show.
Right.
What? Man, that's gotta go on the show.
Right.
So this is gonna be a crazy show.
Yeah, I mean, you got the Trump rallies going on and everything that's happened with. We're gonna have to talk about that, new, because it's a lot.
Yeah, exactly. We're doing also doing our semicolon project show. We'll get into details of that later. We have a special guest contributor, but the semicolon project is a anti-depression project. It's a, as I say online, fuck depression project, and we're gonna get into that during our Can You Hear Me Now segment.
Yeah. It's kind of the theme for the show today, New, because it's a really important topic. Like New said, we'll elaborate on that later. We got a question for you too. What shows are you binge watching these days? And you know, how do you feel about how they kind of get you caught up? You know, you lose a lot of time.
I just did it with House of Cards. So I kind of get your thoughts. Binge watching yes, binge watching no. That'll come up in our thumbs up, thumbs down segment.
Indeed. Lots of NFL.
Yeah, we got a lot of moves in the NFL. RG3 has left DC. We got to talk about that. Some other quarterbacks left towns too. We got to talk about that as well. Big Chuck knows what I'm talking about.
It's crazy.
So we definitely get into that.
Crazy out there, man. Crazy out there. That Netflix and chill segment is going to be hot too, New, because there are a lot of good movies coming out that you got to catch. I mean, we talked about binge watching, so we're going to dime out a couple of shows during that Netflix and chill segment, you know?
Definitely, man. Some movies to look for, some stuff on TV, some stuff on Netflix. You know, on Ustream on Sunday nights at 7, I know a show you can watch too.
Yeah, and that show actually happens to post all of his videos on YouTube. So if you really want to get caught up on the news and you want to binge watch a show, you know, 37 minutes per, man. Once a week.
Hell yeah, newthemain.wordpress.com. We'll get into that in a minute.
No doubt.
But as JB spoke about, we have our themes for the show tonight. The musical theme. If y'all haven't noticed, every week we do 5 videos. There's different things. It's the 5 best breakup videos.
Right.
5 best songs to have sex to videos.
Right.
5 best songs to work out to.
Right. And coming off our Grind and Shine, our Sight and Sound Awards, we dropped the 5 videos that were hot, that were up and coming last week. Slightly different theme this week.
Yeah. This week we're sticking to our semicolon project theme, and it's going to be songs. I'm going to do songs that help you get out of a funk.
Right.
You can have songs that make you happy, and you got songs that can get you out of a funk. And since we're talking about fuck depression and doing what we're doing and living life and battling and going on and smiling and enjoying it, I wanted to come up with some songs that kind of give you the extra you need to kind of fight the good fight. Yeah,
man. So come on, listen to these songs, enjoy these tunes, feel happy, get up, get high, get hyped, and we'll show you what we do to battle depression as well.
Exactly. And a guy who's depressed right now, who should be depressed, is our first story of the day. Mike Ditka, former coach of the Chicago Bears, also former ESPN football correspondent. he went on a radio show, JB, and expressed some views against President Barack Obama. Said a couple things like he wished he was more like Reagan. We need another Reagan. He kind of went in, and ultimately he was fired by ESPN, which is owned by Disney. Mm-hmm. Did you want to elaborate on some of the things he said, or your personal take on those things, JB?
Yes. Let me add two things. One, he said specifically that Obama is the worst president we have ever had. That is what he was quoted as saying. He was quoted in Huffington Post and a variety of different other news sources. So this is valid. My question to the people and to you, Nu, is while everyone is up in arms about this firing and people should be able to say whatever they want, have we ever heard anyone in sports ever get away with saying anything like this without being fired?
Not really,
right.
Man. I mean, I don't know. To me, it's a subliminal. It's covert. It wasn't outright racist. Mm-hmm. And I would have a hard time stomaching that Mike Dicker is racist. Mm-hmm. But to me, when you say Obama is the worst president in the world, worst president ever, there's no other reason to say that. Because his track record proves that he's not. His track record proves he's one of the greatest presidents we've ever had. So when you deliberately go out of your way to lie, to fabricate, to spread that message, why?
Yeah.
Why would you do that?
Why?
That's like somebody saying, Michael Jordan was the worst basketball player ever. And you go, well, I know you're intelligent.
Right.
So you're not saying this. You're not thinking this.
Right.
So you're feeling this. Why do you feel this way?
Yeah.
And to me, it's only one reason he could feel that way. Mm-hmm. And Mike Dicker, to me, Mike Dicker is he's a racist to me now.
Well, yeah, and at the end of the day, he is not a political analyst, nor was he hired to be one in any capacity. So there's kind of a line that doesn't get crossed, Yeah. Unless you're brought on CNN to offer your political opinion. As a sports analyst, you don't offer your political opinion because you're talking out the side of your neck. You know what I'm saying? Like, what are you talking about? You're Mike Dicker. Come on, dog.
Right.
So your reaction to what he said is obviously perfectly valid one because there have been millions. Come on now, 44 presidents. He isn't possibly the worst president we've ever had.
Right.
Right. I'm not going to elaborate, but just to touch on it. A guy named Herbert Hoover sat around and did absolutely nothing during the Great Depression and made it much worse. He was probably a worse president than Barack Obama. A guy named William Howard Taft signed prohibition laws into existence in 1919, created the whole mafia thing, the gang wars, nearly destroyed the country. He was probably a worse president than Barack Obama. Now, a somewhat senile 70-some-year-old sports analyst doesn't have this context. You know what I'm saying? That's why he's not allowed to make political commentary.
Exactly. And he's working for ESPN, which is a Disney-owned company.
Political,
Mickey Mouse,
Disney,
Disney-owned company. He wasn't going to get away with that. And I will say this. When you look at different networks and what they've done, and just even with MSNBC, who I thought was good, what they did to Melissa Joan Hart.
We touched on that last week.
What they did there, I'm like, ESPN, I rock with you. Because I see the good, I don't see too much bad. They reported pretty much the way it is. Mm-hmm. And people call Stephen A. Uncle Tom. He said some things that I didn't like. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to go that far yet. But he does make his political statements, his powerful statements, and they allow for him to say, don't dog all black players. Right. Don't do this just to black athletes.
Right.
And what they did with Mike Dicker, to me, they made a decision. Because it's okay to say, don't dog out our black athletes, but it's not okay for what he did. And speaking about Barack, which to me was a racist statement. And I look at it and I kind of go, I see you, ESPN. And I don't see that fairness, I don't see that swiftness and action on many other networks. It's like you said, it's usually sports. Mm-hmm. A sports commentator is probably because sports is one thing that unites the people.
Absolutely.
Everybody rooted for, Jordan, who's, with black, white, Chinese, Asian. If you were a Bulls fan or if you were a Jordan fan, it didn't matter. And I think that's big. That's big.
It is big, New, and you bring up an excellent point talking about their. I wouldn't even call it censorship. I'll actually call it mentorship, because basically what they're saying is, dog, like, don't come out your face, saying some crazy foolishness. Now, you brought up Stephen A. Smith. There have been times where ESPN has sent or kind of, I won't say penalized, but they have.
That's a good word.
Like, they've been like, whoa, Steve, whoa, okay, you need to.
Yeah, when he made this comment about the one time he made the comments about women,
right?
If a woman hits a man,
right,
and a man hits her back.
Oh yeah, during that Ray Rice scandal,
but never a black issue, which was I applaud him for.
Absolutely. Well, two things though, New. Stephen A., you can say what you want about what he says at times, but what he always tries to do is he tries to state it in a way that is not offensive. He's not jumping out and saying F white people and this, that, and the third and blah, blah, blah. You can rock with commentary when it's done correctly,
JB. Should we give Mike Dickey the Sit Up Stupid Award? We had a lot of nominees. Maybe he should get an honorary. If we're doing this segment before we. Let's give Mike Dickey. He didn't say the dumbest thing this week, but he lost his job in the process. So maybe it was the dumbest thing this week, JB.
He did lose his job. But our actual winner kind of gave up his job, though.
Yeah.
So
I still want to give Mike Dickey a shout out.
Oh, absolutely.
So for the New to Man Show with JB Frank, Mike Dickey, you are honorary winner of the Donald Trump Shut Up Stupid Award.
Man,
Shut Up Stupid.
Come on, man.
Hey, you know what? That made me laugh. That made me feel good. So let's go on to I think countdown for music videos.
Absolutely.
Which is songs that make you feel good. Songs
absolutely.
that snatch you out of your depression.
How's everybody doing tonight?
AKA the Black City Man.
Hey, TJ, I like your flavor. I got a movie idea for you.
You know what we do, JB? I'm New to Mayor. I'm the writer, the rapper, the revolutionary.
I'm JB Frank, representing NWA, those nerds with attitude.
Yeah!
Yeah, I had to give them the introduction.
Yeah.
They didn't even know who we were.
It's craziness. All right, JB. We're about to go into a rapid fire segment, thumbs up, thumbs down.
Mm-hmm.
Before we go into that, we got to talk about the biggest story of the week, which is Donald Trump and the rallies that he had. The one last night in Chicago that was actually canceled because as many protesters showed up as supporters, and things got testy for a minute. Well, I guess it was Friday night, a couple nights ago. Before I go in, I wanted to give you opportunity to give your thoughts, because I'm going to go into it, I want you to know.
Yeah, he's about to go in, so I'm going to do my best to play the cooler head, even though I can't, because, excuse me, Mom and Dad, I'm sorry, but this is fucking horrible. This man is showing his true colors. He is showing who he really is to the American people. In a time where we have police officers killing young black men and oppressing young black women, I can't think of a better term to describe what they're doing because it runs such a gamut of misery out there in the streets today, New. This man is inciting racial conflicts at his political rallies for president. And what I'm saying is that when people come and protest the ridiculously crazy things that he said. Now remember, people would protest Obama rallies before, New. People would walk into Obama rallies carrying automatic weapons, New. Did we punch them, push them, beat them, call them names, drag them out of those facilities? No, we did not. But that is what Trump supporters are doing to these protesters. Not only are they doing it, they're doing it with the support of the man on the podium, Donald Trump. He's saying stuff like, we need to get those people out of here. Whatever happens, whatever, I'll cover your legal fees. This is what he's telling to the crowd, New. Why are we supporting a man who is inciting racial conflict in the United States? Why are we supporting a man who wants to start another civil war? And it's not just between black people, for those of you white conservatives out there. It's Latinos being dragged out of these protests, y'all. Look at the pictures. It's Latinos and white people and black people being beaten and dragged out of these protests. Horrible, 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 horrible. Stop. Look, listen, people. This man is crazy. That's all I got to say.
I'm going to read you Trump's latest statement. He actually tweeted this yesterday. This is Bernie Sanders' line when he says his disruptors aren't told to go to my events. Be careful, Bernie, or my supporters will go to yours. Now, the protesters that have showed up at Donald Trump events have been nonviolent. They've almost been like they've been pacifists. I've seen them get punched in the face. That one lady that everybody was pushing and punching. There was a African American gentleman that was punched in the face by a sucker punch. Now I don't want nobody. No, let's be clear. This wasn't somebody who walked up and was talking and punched him. The guy was walking up the steps and he just stole them. And there was another time where another white guy jumped up in the black guy's face swinging and he got punched a couple times. Sorry for you, buddy. But this isn't a black or white thing. This is a oppressed people thing. Because when you look at, like JV said, the people who are being thrown out of these Trump rallies, these people that are protesting against Trump, it's the rainbow. It's white, black, Asian, Latino, everyone is there. Mm-hmm. So it isn't Trump doesn't have the full support of white America. So this isn't a white America what you doing thing. This is you Trump people.
Right.
You Trump Institute graduates. What are y'all doing?
Right.
And when you have a rally and you want to president of the United States and you insinuate that if it takes physical force to remove somebody or the spectators themselves need to jump in it and physically remove people, you'll pay their legal fees. I mean, you're essentially putting a bounty on these people's head. Mm-hmm. So the black woman that was punched several times and pushed at the Donald Trump rally, I can say that there was a bounty put on her head by presidential candidate Donald Trump. And what I want you guys to really pay close attention to is it's different now. I'm going to shout out Chris Brown for this. I don't think he was the impetus for it. Right. But he said something, and I'll give him credit for saying something. We need to start going to these Trump rallies by ourselves. We need to go deep because they can't keep putting their hands on our women. We need to fuck their ass up.
Chris Brown said this, y'all. Chris Brown said this.
Exactly. And at the very next rally in Chicago, you know what I'm saying, thousands of Donald Trump protesters showed up. And I'm like, good. And they showed up in force. They showed up strong. Because you go to a political rally, you're not expected to fight. So there are black women who are going by themselves with their Black Lives Matter sign and signing a protest, and Donald Trump is ordering that she be removed, and then his constituents, his mob, go and physically remove her. Like, brothers, like, we don't have the black men in America, we have not had the best relationship between each other. There's a lot of violence going on in the cities, a lot of murder, a lot of death, a lot of drug dealing, a lot of everything. We have not had the best relationship as far as being this brotherhood that should exist. But it's improved. Mm-hmm. This is the time where we got to do the right thing, where we got to put all the BS aside. Donald Trump supporters cannot beat our women, dog. They cannot put their hands on black women. Like that's crazy. I'd be goddamn if I sit around and let 4, 5, 6 white men put their hands on a black woman. I don't care if it's 1,000 of them and just me and you, JB. Like, it's not like we have to be protected. And I'm not gonna get all.
I'm saying, well,
to the people,
right.
But we got to protect our women.
I'm gonna say this: the New to Mayor show with JB Frank is looking up the next Trump rally that happens in the Atlanta area, and black women, our people, reach out to us on Facebook. Let us know if you going. Let us know if you plan on being there. Because if you gonna be there, we gonna be there. And it ain't just gonna be the two of us. You understand what I'm saying? You understand? Chuck, you in?
Hell yeah.
All right, Big Chris, you in?
All day.
All right, so that's 4 niggas, heavy-handed niggas who are going, and we can get more. I'm not playing at all. Look at my face. Look at my face.
He might not even be able to do a rally in Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? I got to feel like he's going to do one in Atlanta, even though this is Georgia. It won't be in Atlanta. He may be in Columbus. He may go somewhere further north, further south. It ain't gonna be in Atlanta.
I'm saying wherever it is in this Georgia area, we gonna find out where it is. We gonna post it on Facebook, and we going as a crew. If y'all go, like, we going, but if y'all going, it's gonna be a larger group. I'm not playing at all. I'm not playing.
Black scene there, baby.
You goddamn right. Goddamn right.
Now we're gonna calm down.
Trying to take a drink.
And we're gonna go into the rest of the show. But yeah, like y'all already know. I mean, we pretty vocal on Facebook, pretty vocal in person. I guess even vocal on the show, so you know what it is.
Yeah, I had to spend a little extra time on that one.
Now we're going to rapid fire.
Let's get to it, man.
Thumbs up, thumbs down. Oh, the infamous, I'm undecided. We're going to run through them real quick, then we'll take our next break so we can get into our semicolon project, which deals with battling depression. And the theme songs of the night are songs that kind of grab you up and kind of get out of that. So, without further ado, our infamous. All right, Russell Wilson and Sierra got engaged this weekend, JB. Thumbs up, thumbs down.
Gotta give it a thumbs up. I was kind of thumbs down after all of the foolishness that went happen, but he married her. It's gotta be love. You can't knock on love. You can't do that. Thumbs up.
Well, JB, I'll put it this way. I gave him a big thumbs up. I didn't like the narrative behind Russell Wilson with Sierra's son, future son, and painting future. So I wasn't with all of that. But at the end of the day, and I wasn't even. He had the baby by himself with TMZ taking pictures. Who called TMZ? You know, it was throwing me off. But at the end of the day, it does look like love. And if they're happy, he loves her, he loves her child, he's in it for the long haul. Then it all makes sense. Maybe they knew it before we knew it. You know what I'm saying? So that's all I'll say. We know what I didn't like, but this is something I love. I can't.
Yeah,
you know
man.
You find somebody you love, you want to marry, and he, as a man, he's willing to step in and be a stepfather or whatever, and take the whole package. I can't do nothing but salute him. I think some of the shit he did on social media was unnecessary, but overall, thumbs up.
Yeah, man. Moving on. Obama decided to skip Nancy Reagan's funeral, new. Thumbs up or thumbs down? Now, this one was all over social media.
Yeah, everybody was calling her, you know, of course she passed. There's never a celebratory when anybody passes. I don't want to give that vibe. But I'll say him not going to her funeral, I give it a thumbs up. I mean, he had other things to do.
Yeah.
He did those things. He's president of the United States. If she was a president, maybe. I'd like to see Obama do more to find things.
Yeah, I'm in complete agreement with you. You and I had a lot of discussions off air about what Nancy Reagan represented to the Reagan administration, to the CIA during that whole period. She was the poster child for an entire subversive movement, and she made black people hate themselves because it was our only way to make money. And it was the opportunity that literally the government was feeding us through oppression. She was the poster child for that. She created the self-hatred during that era. Maybe that's what Obama already understands. It's certainly what we've been talking about it. I've got to give it an even one because she was the wife of a head of state. maybe he could have sent his wife or a secretary or somebody,
Someone that Sasha, somebody.
Yeah.
Kobe says it's no rivalry with LeBron because they didn't meet in the playoffs. So he's saying that it couldn't be a real rivalry. I'll give it a thumbs up because I agree. It can't be a true rivalry unless you're playing for something that matters.
Yeah, and I have to give it a thumbs up as well because logistically it makes sense. They never met in the playoffs. But then if you stop and look at it from the way Kobe is looking at it, why would you consider somebody a rival when they're chasing you for their whole career and your whole career? If they had actually met and had a battle for an outcome, then yeah, he's a rival. But this dude is chasing me. He's my mentee. He's not my rival. I can see Kobe thinking about it that way.
So, it'd be tough. I mean, LeBron got 4 MVPs. Kobe has 1. LeBron could say, you got more rings. You played with Shaq. No, I don't agree with that, me personally. But he could say, like, as far as who's the best, I got 4 MVPs. More than you and Shaq combined.
Indeed.
Who the best?
Indeed.
So
Indeed.
he might not feel like he's chasing Kobe.
Yeah, and I imagine if you were asked LeBron that question, he might have a slightly different answer.
That's what I'm saying. I think that would be his answer.
Right.
But I like Kobe's perspective.
Yeah, man. This one was odd. Complex Mag gave us 10 reasons why Biggie was better than Tupac. I already know what your answer is, but I gotta ask you. Look at his face, y'all. Look at his face.
Tupac, my favorite rapper of all time. I think Biggie was better than Tupac lyrically, as far as punchlines, metaphors. I think Biggie's flow slightly edged out Pac's flow. Because Biggie is still the guy that did B.I.G., P.O.P., P.A., no info, photo, D.E.A. They always say it's like a jazz improvisationalist. Like he just...
It was a musical instrument, yeah.
Now, Pop sang his stuff. Even if the crack fiend mama always was a black queen, he sang it. So it's a difference in how they did it. But the list, everything else is just bullshit. They said Biggie was a better lyricist because he got Little Kim and Charlie Baltimore started.
I don't even understand that statement.
I don't know what that means. Biggie was a better lyricist. They said Biggie was a better lyricist because he designed the Jesus piece. And I'm like, this is Complex Magazine. Supposedly an authority on hip hop. And those are the reasons they say Biggie is a better lyricist. He's a better lyricist because he brought in Little Kim, Faith Evans, and Charlie Baltimore.
Which doesn't speak to a greater influence that he had on hip-hop, because we all know who had the greatest influence on hip-hop between the two of them. So the statement is a falsehood on two distinctly different levels. One that is illogical and then another that is just false. Thumbs down for this statement in its entirety.
Thumbs up. Just because you play National Wale don't mean we...
You damn near got the shut up stupid award for that one. Real talk.
And I haven't even been... Well, I think I think Tupac is better than Biggie. But that's not even the issue. The real question is why would those 10 reasons don't prove it. Yeah. That's my point. If you think Biggie's better, you can't use Complex as your argument.
No.
Moving on.
Oh, goodness. Steph Curry has been getting a lot of heat from a lot of the sports old heads. I won't even say heat, but I can't use any other term but player hate. You know what I'm saying? It's like... He's not the greatest of all time. He's not having the greatest season ever, and not. What's with all the hate, dude?
Man, I'm gonna give him all the thumbs down, big thumbs down for me, because at the end of the day, Steph is doing what he's doing. He could possibly have the best season anyone's ever had, and it's impossible. It's possible. I'm not saying it will happen. I'm saying at this point, it's possible. How many of those legends were at this point in the season, and it could be said, maybe this could be the best season ever. So let's recognize that. We are watching history in the making. Yeah,
and why aren't you applauding this player who has pretty much put the game of basketball on his back for the last 2 seasons? He has had superstars. There's superstars from other teams that are giving it a flourish, but let's look at it. Like, basketball is a really, really exciting game today, and Steph is a big reason for that. Why aren't they bigging him up? Thumbs down entirely.
Thumbs down. Moving on. Surprise CDs, JB. Lil Wayne and 2 Chainz dropped one. It just dropped, and you get, oh, it's out. Beyonce started it. She dropped the album at midnight. Oh, it's out. I give surprise CDs a thumbs up, as long as you do the mass marketing after it drops, because the big build-up ain't working no more. So thumbs up.
Now, and the surprise CDs have proven to work in the past significantly. People have dropped mixtapes, like, here it is, and they come back and sell a few 100,000 of them. So it's not a bad look. A thumbs up for me as well, indeed, indeed. Now, we talked about this a little bit earlier. Binge watching shows, is this a good thing, a bad thing? What is this doing for us?
I give binge watching. You know what? I'm gonna give it a thumbs up, but it's tough, man, because I watched House of Cards fourth season last weekend, and it's over now. I watched it the whole weekend, and now I wait till next March for House of Cards. It's a thumbs up, but it's a painful thumbs up.
Yeah, I look at it like reading like novel series or anything like that, where you get an opportunity to just grab everything and kind of go into it all at once. For me, it's a plus because it can save a whole lot of money on a whole lot of weekends to just chill and watch some shows. 2, it can actually battle depression sometimes, because if you're in a funk, having a rough time at work, you can completely lose yourself in somebody else's story and actually see the end, you know? So I give it a thumbs up for those reasons, dude.
All right, and real quick, Rock Osweiler to the Texans, thumbs up, keep it moving.
Thumbs down, keep it moving.
All right, DeMarco Murray to the Titans, thumbs up.
Thumbs up, keep it moving.
There it is. We're coming back with our Can You Hear Me Now segment. We're going to have Isha on the show from Mindstream Radio. We're talking about the Semicolon Project. We're talking about battling depression. And let's get into a song, one of my personal favorites, that helps me get through whatever I'm going through. And that's my 2 favorite rappers all the time, Tupac and Scarface. Smile.
The Bear Show, Jay, right? Okay.
Frank, we are back with our special Can You Hear Me Now segment. We're online. We're about to go Facebook Live in a minute. JB, we're going into our Semicolon Project discussion. We have a special guest up there somewhere.
She should be right there.
Call her the Empress. Isha, where you at?
I'm right here.
What's good, man?
What's going on?
None. I'm about to Facebook you live some kind of way. How can I do that? I wish we could show the background. But we're here for a pretty good, I'm going to say a good thing. I'm going to say we're here for something that I think is going to help out a lot of people. I feel good about it. We did our group. We started a group this week. Let's start with that. Do you want to take the lead on that with the group?
Yeah, I can take.
I got it.
So basically, between you, myself, and Carrie Ann, we've been having these conversations in reference to depression. It's been something that a lot of people battle with. It's not just a self thing. I think I was going through it alone, and I had an episode earlier this week, and it kind of just made me realize why it was important to have a group or a place to go to, just to have some emotional support and encouragement. So that's how we started the group, and I'm excited about it.
Yeah, I'm excited about it too. It was a great idea. We've talked before about doing something. All of us feel pretty passionate about depression, and I think when Carrie Ann got the tattoo, that kind of brought it all home for us with the semicolon. And for those that don't know, I'm gonna break it down. It's a little bit easier, then I'm gonna throw it back to you. The semicolon, it represents a pause but not a stop.
Right.
And it's for people who suffer from depression and didn't kill themselves. That paused but didn't stop. And it's a sign of strength to me. I think the tattoo was "This too shall pass" with the semicolon. And JB, that's something Andre said to me all the time. So it's something that was near and dear to me. And I already had my goal of reaching 1 million people that suffer from depression. Isha would always put her videos up, and I would see them, and I would get inspired because I was doing things I didn't know all what to do, and I saw what she was doing, and I said, that's key. Mm-hmm. That's key. And Isha, I want to throw it back to you, and then you can throw it to JB. We can kind of delve into what we're going to talk about today, I guess.
Okay. Well, in reference to the Semicolon project, I heard about it and I thought that it was so amazing. I actually read up on it. You can read up on it, whoever is watching or listening, if you go to projectsemicolon.org. And just like looking at people's stories, reading them, listening to the struggles that they have, and knowing like, okay, I go through something similar. Why? There are other people out there who are going through it, who have, gone to that brink at the very edge of that cliff, but decided not to jump over it. I mean, there's nothing better than really realizing you have so much more to give or offer, even though you have these battles and these episodes where you really don't understand. So it's just like when we talked about earlier in the group in reference to situational depression and then clinical, and chronic depression, which means the situational is more so like not liking where you are at the moment, having those moments where you're like, oh my God, I'm 27 and I'm still living at home. That's a situational thing. But depression, literally like the clinical depression is more so like, everything is in order. You graduated college, you got the white picket fence and the gray husband or the gray wife, and then you still trying to figure out like, why am I sad? What am I going through? And I think a lot of people want to battle it themselves, especially in the Black community, because, mental illness is something that we don't like to discuss. And that's very, very important. So I think, again, like having the group, having these things pop up, like the Semicolon Project, having somebody to hold you accountable and have these conversations with is very important, especially when you feel like, I'm at my wit's end. How do I get back from being at the edge of the cliff?
I feel the exact same way you do. For me personally, depression is something that I battled my whole life, but it's something that can come over you in waves sometimes. I mean, you hit the nail right on the head with the distinction between sort of situational depression and what they call clinical depression. The two can work hand in hand to create a very, very bad situation, which is why this group is so important, because one of the things that helps you heal depression, one of the things that helps you battle depression is communication. You got to share your story with other people, because part of that depression is that isolationism. I'm the only one going through this. Why am I not happy? Why am I so different than everybody else? Because I'm in pain. Communication allows you to share those experiences and allows you to understand that you're not the only one who's in pain. They always say misery loves company. I somewhat disagree. I think that misery hates company, because I think communication and company and society can help cure misery. It can help end it for you. So communication is important to depression, and I really love this movement for that reason.
Yeah, JB, Isha, I agree 100%. There's a saying that shame can't survive empathy.
Correct.
And I've kind of tweaked that to say depression cannot survive empathy. And that's what I noticed when I first started being vocal, because I'm from the Tupac school of rap. So I rap what's in my heart and in my pain, what I'm going through, as well as the good stuff. And so I'll do that on social media. I'll say what's going on good. I'll say what's going on bad. Like, I just express myself that way. And I've noticed that if I announce what I'm going through or say what I'm going through, and somebody else is going through it, you never even knew was going through it,
right,
and they're feeling that same pain. So that empathy gave them the courage they needed to do it, to go through their own situation or to bounce back from it or what have you. And that's why I think the group is so important. The group is called Fuck Depression. It's FUK Depression. And it's a group where we're saying, like, you're not alone. I think the central thing and I've said that Isha said is you're not alone. The minute somebody says, oh man, I'm going through this today, we go, hey, I'm going through that. I'm going through that. I saw that. I've seen that, whatever. So the theme is that you're not alone. Mm-hmm. And I think that's the most crippling part of depression is when you feel you can't talk to anybody about it. And that's why I want to encourage anybody going through anything to talk to someone, if not a professional. Now, in our community, we have a stigma about talking to a professional, but I've done it.
I've done it.
I'll do it again.
Absolutely.
Isha, have you ever spoken to anyone professionally?
Yes, I have. I think that, again, communication, and what I will say is we all have to do this. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Like, oh, I'm okay. Oh, I'm good. Sometimes you get so accustomed to doing this, you don't even realize when you're not feeling good. You don't even realize when you're having that episode because you don't want too many people to judge you. Really, that's what it is. It's I don't want to be judged. I don't want people to know that I'm having a moment because then it seemed like a moment of weakness. I had a really bad breakup that I went through, and it sent me into, all sorts of emotions and feelings. Obviously, things that were there prior to the relationship, but I was like, all right, I need to take a step back. I can't do this alone. I need to go somewhere where I can, of myself. And what I will say is this: when you decide to go to seek a professional, if you do, you want to make sure that it's somebody who will hold you accountable and will give you like homework. You know what I mean? Like I can go to anybody's house and sit on the couch and pay $30. That's not what I want. What I want is for somebody to actually say, I need you to write down why you feel this way. I need you to tell me what it is that because a lot of times there are triggers. We don't realize that there's something that's making us feel this way. You know what I mean? It's not just the fact that you're 30 and you're at home. It's the fact that society has told you shouldn't be 30 living at home, and your friends are not 30 living at home. You feel me? So like, we all have to realize that we have our own roads. Again, this is not something that just we go through. All genders go through this, and we have to be more embracing, you know what I mean, like you said, the empathy. And so I have no shame in saying that I've gone to see a professional, you know what I mean, especially in reference to making sure that my sanity is good. You know what I mean? Like I want to be able to wear my smile and know it's a genuine smile, and it's not like me just doing my usual covering something up because I don't want people to feel, a certain type of way or judge me. But you, like you said, the minute that you said something new, Harvey, you know what I mean? Like people were on it because they're like, hey, I go through this too, and it's so great to actually have friends that you can, man, I'm just having an off day. Can you just pep me up a little bit? And I talk about that a lot because I feel like in the Black community, we're so quick to tear each other down. Enough.
Yeah. We've talked a lot about depression and kind of what it means to share your feelings, whatever the crisis was that happened with others, and the healing that can happen because of that. One of the other things that you kind of need in your life when you're battling depression is you need like a quick pick-me-up. You need a fix, if you will. Those crises happen. Those bad things happen. So what do you do to deal with those bad things when they come up? How do you kind of decompress, relax, chill, or kind of step away from those moments to help yourself sometimes? Because I think when you share those things, that can help other people too. Because this dude battles depression by, reading a good book or writing a journal entry or sending out a card to somebody they love. But if that makes them feel better, maybe I can find something. What are your things that make you feel better?
Well, I'm a writer, so, I have been since I've been probably 15. I started off as doing poetry, emotional poetry. So whatever I was going through, a poem came out of it. I ventured as I got older I got a little zane in me, so I ventured out into like, erotica. Right now I'm actually working on my first book, and I do what I call the midnight confession. So I try every night at midnight to write some people who have relationships, to encourage people who are single, that relationships are not just about sex. Like, you need romance. I'm a very hopeless romantic. I love. That's my tattoo that I have here, because I just want people to understand, not just even romantic love, but just love in general, having a love with the urge for people in different situations and places. I go outside, occasionally I will go outside insurance. I will let my mind, go free. I go to the park. I work out. Again, a young lady in our group was just talking about working out. Working out takes your mind off of everything. You feel free. You feel empowered. You feel, like it's literally exerting those things and taking them off of your plate. And so working out for me in the past 3 weeks has been the best decision.
Yeah, working out.
They're like, well, what are you doing in the gym? Like, you're small. And I'm like, working out is key. It really is. You know what I mean? You're building mentally, even though you're in there building your body. Because think about it, if you are in there, you struggle with doing crunches or whatever, no matter what, I'm gonna finish these crunches, you're mentally strong. You're pushing yourself. So when you start pushing yourself like that, it's like, oh snap, okay, so this weak moment I'm having, or this episode I'm having, I can overcome that. You know what I mean? It's a push, it's a constant push. So those are some of the things that I do. I hang out with people, I write, I talk, I joke, I make those videos like Nu said. The first video I posted in reference to depression, I had no idea it was going to touch people the way that it did. I had friends in my inbox talking about, the situations that they were going through and how they were also fighting. And again, you never know what somebody else is going through. So I tell people, somebody's life may look great on the outside, but until you know their story, live your own life and do the best that you can with what you got.
I agree 100%. This is a subject that's personal to all of us. I've even gone so far as to say that I'm trying to work with 1 million people that suffer from depression. I want to impact 1 million people's lives, which is why I make the posts I make, which is why we're doing a group, which is why we're doing this show tonight, which is why this segment of the show has lasted so long.
It's an important topic.
Absolutely.
If we run long, so be it. Like, we got to talk about this.
Yeah. Absolutely. We do got to get out of here. Isha, we got to bring you back. We got to do this again. We got to do this segment.
Absolutely. And we'll try and open it up. There's a lot of healing that needs to happen. There's a lot of sharing that needs to happen. And this is, I won't say this is a start, Nu, because this is something that has been near and dear to our hearts for a while. Yeah. But this is a big acceleration, I'll say. A big move in a real right direction for this.
I agree 100%. Ace, I guess give the people a way they can contact you. If they don't give me your phone number, you don't want them calling you. But give me your Twitter or your Instagram or something so they can follow you and get all that.
Yeah, my Instagram is Quiet Assassin with a Q. Well, I'm sorry, with a K, not a Q. I'm very unique in the way I spell things. So Quiet Assassin on Instagram. It's Quiet Assassin on Twitter. And then Empress Isha on Facebook with the IIMPRE.
And she's in the New Man Show.
If you're friends with Nu.
Right. She's in the New Man Show with Jamie Frank group. So I'll make sure I shout her out so you guys can contact her, follow her.
Let's give that name of that depression group again, too.
It's Fuck Depression.
Yeah.
FUK Depression.
Yeah, definitely join that group if you need comments, if you need support, if you want to add your comments. We certainly are going to be active on the group. It's a wonderful thing.
And one final thing, pick me ups, things that get you out of your funk. Sometimes music does that.
Yes.
And that was our theme for tonight.
Right.
So I want to go into, before we say goodnight, I want to go into the next video, which is my favorite that gets me out of where I'm at, which is Tupac and Scarface with Smile, New Man Show with JB Frank, Empress Isha in the building. Mm-hmm. We'll be back in a minute. Thank you for tuning in. frank, we went long tonight. We went into a lot of
for good reason.
Yeah, for good reason. There was things we had to talk about, things we had to address, but we're in overtime right now, so we just wanted to come back and say good night to y'all properly. We will have an extended Netflix and chill segment next week because there's a couple things we didn't get to this week. But I want to thank y'all for tuning in. Best 60 minutes on internet TV, even when it's
60, yeah, 69 and a half minutes, right? Thank you to Isha, our guest, who did a wonderful job breaking down depression and what it meant to her and what it means to us, all of us, frankly. Check out that Facebook group. Good night and God bless, y'all.
Uno, we out.
Man, you know I be checking my game, clocking my grade, talking shit, swallowing spit. Been doing this since I was ankle low to a centipede, toe about knee high to a flea eye. Hey JB, I'ma do this whole song with my pinky finger in the air, nigga.
Checking my game, clocking my grip, talking shit.